Hello and welcome to our last day of junk journaling. I thought I'd start by doing a flip through of my junk journal and the things I've done since the last time we were together. So I still haven't done anything on the cover of my book, but I could put my name on here, I could put the date or the year. You could decorate it up if you've got some buttons or beads at home. You could make something and glue that on the front, just to decorate it up a bit, however you like. On my front inside cover, I just had a rubber stamp that I used and glued that down onto my cover. And on this one, I did a collage. So this is just torn book pages with a little bit of a torn music sheet. And I happen to have this rose sticker and just glued that down onto my piece of text paper that I already had in there. On the flip side is our drawing that we did, and I still have to color this in. And on this side, because I have Make-A-Wish here, and I tucked my wish inside, I also thought I might draw a dandelion on here, how you know how you make a wish and blow all the puffy little dandelion ends out. And I found this little picture too, so I wasn't sure if I was going to use that or not, so I just tucked it into my little fold that I had at the bottom of this page. Again, on this page, I like it almost as it is, and I still want to come up with a word here, but I also found this picture which kind of reminds me of summer. And so I thought that I could glue that down there too, and maybe the word summer goes on here. So I'm just going to keep that tucked inside my little pouch until I've totally decided that that's what I'm going to do. And I really liked those pencils that I had found, and so I finally glued them on here, and I think I might just write the word in here, sketch or draw. Or I could even draw a little picture in there too. And this is a page we're going to work on today, so I'm just going to pull that out for now. And that was a page that we'd already done. This one it's kind of an ocean scene with waves and things. So I thought down this side of the page I might just write the word summer in maybe bubble letters or something similar to what we did with the balance on this side. This was my envelope with the little cellophane see-through pouch, and this was a bookmark that I'd made, and it just fit in there nicely. It was a little long, so I tore it down actually, and just glued that on top. So this could come out, and I could change my mind down the road if I wanted to, or put something else in there. But I do like those little flowers, which also went along with the page that I had beside it. Again, this is just collage, cut out or torn out magazine pages glued together, glued down. And then I found this nice picture of these beautiful mauve flowers that I love, and found the word grow and just glued that on the bottom. This page I was just playing with. I had some powder pigment, and then I just sprayed it with water and moved it around, and I kind of liked how it turned out. And so in one of my magazines, I found these colors that kind of coincided, and so I just cut the heart shape out, and that landed on that page, and I still have room for words or quotes if I want to add to it. This was a page that I'd done previously, just torn text pages, and I really like this black and white photo for some reason, and I might glue that on there. So I haven't totally decided, so again, it's going to stay inside my little fold at the bottom till I'm ready. I do like to garden, so I did find this little picture of some rubber boots and flowers, and the flowers matched the stripes that I had going around the border, so I thought that's a perfect place for it. On the flip side, I haven't totally decided what I'm doing, but I did make another tag, just again with the same text paper and music notes, and some little stickers that I found that I had in my little junk drawer. And so I just paper clipped that on for now, because I do need to do something on the background to cover that up, whether I tear some pages out or paint it. I haven't decided. So paper clips are great ideas, because then you can remove them or add them, or it just gives you some placement ideas if you're thinking about where you want to put some things. And because I had some flowers here, I have all these flowers, and I thought I might cut them out and maybe just do a collage of my little flowers on that page. Again, I haven't totally decided, so I'm just going to keep them all paper clipped together. This is a pouch, and I'm going to show you how to do this today. And it has lots of little places that you can tuck different pieces in if you wanted to, cards or notes or anything that you want. And this page too is a collage of all different torn out magazine pieces. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do anything else to it, but I just stuck this little tag that I'd made in there until I'm ready. And these pages were done. Obviously, I still have to do something with this one. And again, I just tucked these little things in here. Oh, I might like that there. So see, just by playing and flipping through it every once in a while, something may just come to you. So I may just glue that down here. We'll see. But again, I'll just keep it tucked away until I am certain. So for today, let's go back to this envelope to start with. So you're going to need a torn out page from a magazine. And it doesn't matter what's on it because I painted this. You could cover it up with other papers or whatever you like. So just tear out, this even has the rough edge yet, I didn't cut it, but if you want to cut it with scissors, that's fine too. So the first thing you're going to do is hold it portrait, fold it in half, put a nice crisp fold in it, open it up, pull it landscape. Well, actually, that's not. Let's do it this way. Fold it in half, and then fold this in half so that it is kind of like a card would open up, that you could read it. So I've already got my folds in here, as you can see. So when it's folded up like this, so let me just repeat that. Portrait, fold it in half this way, and then fold this over. So you have a smaller rectangle, a quarter of the size of the page that we started with. So then you're going to take the top flap, and you're just going to line the top edge here with the folded edge. So just pull it down along the edge there and make your nice fold. Just with your fingertips is fine. Then you can lift up that folded part here, and then you decide how much of room you want or how much space you want in between. And I usually just kind of flip it back, looking at the edge here, and then you can open it up and do a fold down too. So you want to have this straight edge that matches your folded edge here. And that goes like that. And then you'll look at your third page here and do the same thing. So I just eyeballed the space between each of these approximately and tucked that corner under. Then I opened it up, made sure that my edge was nice and at a 45-degree angle, folded that, and the bottom one just stays the same. So then you have all these little pockets that you can put in. Now at the bottom of this one here, I glued this edge. So you can just run a little bit of glue along the bottom and fold it. Once you decorate it, I would do all your decorating first before I did that. So on this one, if I lift this up, you can still see my magazine pages underneath there. I just decorated the edges that show. So nothing else in between. So again, with paint, whatever paint you may have, I happen to have a stencil, so I used that as well to decorate it. But you could add anything, stickers, all kinds of things. So I think I'll just tuck this in here for now. So today we're going to do a little bit more artsy type thing. So I want to show you this page that I had done in another booklet, another art journal spread. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with a pencil, and we're just going to draw some loose lines. I've already started on mine. So I don't know if you can see them with the camera there or not, but I'm going to go for now with a Sharpie so that you can see. So just loosely, I'm just going to retrace what I've done. See if I can see where I went. So nice, just big, loose curves. I see I missed something there. Go around. Now, if I miss my pencil lines, that's okay, because with a Sharpie, we can go over after and erase those lines. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my eraser and just erase any pencil lines I had underneath. And on the sample here, I painted, but today I'm going to use markers. And what we're going to do is we are going to fill in all these sections with different colors. So here I kept to kind of the purples and pinks and yellows. So I'm just going to start by filling in each section with a different color. And I might, because I have it there, I'm going to put it somewhere else, maybe over here. You want to make sure that you have some nice juicy markers, that they're not dried out, because you will be coloring in some large spaces here. Let me see, maybe right here. I always like to do odd numbers of color. And on my sample here too, I used some text pages. So what I did there was I just glued with my glue gun an area, and then I laid my text paper down on top of it and let it dry for a few minutes while I went and painted something else or colored something else. And then I carefully ripped away the outside edge. So let me see if I can find a piece of text paper. Maybe we could do that. Just be 1 second. Okay. So taking your glue stick, I'm going to do this large area here. I'm going to put glue all inside, trying to stay inside of my drawn space. So I've got quite a bit of glue on there, and then I'm just going to rip this down, and I'm just going to press that on there, and I'm just going to leave that for a minute while I go to a different area here. So let's try this color. Now I do have some paint, excuse me, I do have some paint on here already. So the marker is kind of beating up a little bit. But that's okay. It's a junk journal. It's meant to, an area to play in and experiment. It's not a work of art that we need to put out anywhere. Okay, so I'm not going to fill in this whole sheet. You get the idea. But then what I will do is I will take a different colored marker, or I do like my Sharpies, and then I'm going to go in and do some mark making. So for example, in here I might do just some little dashes, and that just adds some texture to the piece and a little bit of interest. I could use some different colors. You want to make sure that they do stand out. So let's experiment. I think I might need a darker color. So on this light blue, maybe I do some polka dots. Oh, and that's not working very well on here. So no, that's not going to work. I'm going to go back to my Sharpie. I think the Sharpie actually will work the best because I do have that paint on here. On here it was just paper, so I could do anything I wanted. You can see I've got some fine lines and some heavier lines. So let me see. I think I'm going to put some swirls in here. So it doesn't mean you have to paint every section either. You can decide where you want to decorate. And where you want paint and where you don't. maybe in here I'll just put some really fine stripes. And if you wanted to, if this was just a white page, you could just keep it all black and white, because that's quite cool. This white on here, I had a white gel pen. So if you happen to have a white gel pen, they work lovely on top of black. Okay, let's see if this is dry enough. So I kind of lift up to see where the edge, where my line is, and I just hold my finger down as I tear away. I'm going to turn it as I do. The other thing you could do is just try and trace over top of it too with the paper and see if you could see through. If this line is heavier, you might be able to see through the paper and trace it and then just cut it out. I'm not doing too bad. Let's see, a little corner there. Now when I get to a tight little corner like that and I can see it has a point, I might go in and use my scissors. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I've gone outside of the edges in a few areas, but that is okay, because after you're done doing this, you're going to go back over top with your heavy black marker, and then that way these lines will thicken up. Just looking to see, here we go. So what I could do is, once this is colored, if I go back around, I can fix up any areas that I've maybe gone outside the lines. The black line will help cover that up. And then just to enhance this a bit, and I know it has some rough edges, if you wanted to, you can get in there with the scissors, but I wouldn't fret too much about it. So I'm just going to go around this again to crisp up that outside edge. And I'm going a little bit on top of the paper too, the torn text, which helps to make that line look a little bit smoother. There we go. So that is your assignment for today and your finished booklet, hopefully. I hope you've had some fun doing this, and there's lots of YouTube videos. You can always go online and check some other ideas out of how to fill your book. I'm just going to pop this back in. Put it in here maybe. And fold that up. Now I've left mine in the elastic, so because I have I've made a folder and I've got some others in here, I can pop this in here, or you could also sew it if you wanted to. Oops, goes this way. You could always do it sewing. For example, in my very first one here, let me take that out and quickly show you. If you want to sew it, that is my favorite way to do it for sure, is you would line up all your pages, find the center of your booklet, make a hole in the center, and then a couple holes, a couple inches out from either end of the center. With a darning needle and whatever, this is a twine that I've used, you go in from the middle of your booklet or at the top. It doesn't matter. I think on the top, I did on the top here because I wanted to decorate and add some beads on here. So go in one hole, go all the way down to the bottom, and then you can go in through the center, back up to the top, tie a knot, and you're good to go. and then you can decorate with some beads or something on the outside edge of here. And on this one I put a picture. So that is it from me. So from my home to yours, be loving, kind, and I hope all goes well for you and that you experiment and do some other things. I'd love to see them someday. Take care.